And there's Grandpa with his newest great-grandbaby, who's asleep.
On his 90th birthday.
On his 90th birthday, that's right. Yeah, you can keep the blanket off of her. She's not cold anymore. Yeah, I think she likes you, Grandpa. You put her right to sleep. Yeah.
The main thing wrong with most of these seniors is they're inactive.
Right. And some of them
there.
can't, you know, they can't help it, but some of them...
Some of them can't help it, but those
some of them
could
can.
help
Yeah.
don't help it.
Right.
See, and they, I don't know, they have other recreational ways they want to live, but I couldn't hack it.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
That's the reason I told Nana, you want me to go over and associate with those old folks over there? And I thought, oh no, that ain't my cup of tea.
Yeah, you don't want to become one.
I don't want to become one, you know. And they, you know, those guys, they get in a rocking chair and that's their life, you know.
Yeah.
But you got to have some activity. You got to do something in this world, you know. You know, regardless of what it is, you have to have some other activity. You got to exercise. The main thing is exercise. You know that as well as I do. You got to get out and exercise, and I do it here. You know, I keep active. I have something to do, some good hobby, things to do, things to take care of. You know, you talk about yard work. Well, Dorothy said, "What do you do all that yard work?" It's a necessity.
Right.
I have to do that yard. And I like to do it. And I like to keep it the way I like to keep it. So if you want me to change it, well, all right. But I keep the yard the way I like to keep it. but
Does this have one of those little tapes?
Yep.
For you, sound off, birthday, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Had a birthday.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
Had a birthday. Thank you
very much.
Grandpa had a birthday. Yeah.
Oh, no. No, you better
Well, there you go.
I can't have that. You better just pass your plate over this.
Whoop. She's getting rigid.
Okay, well, you gotta tell us what day it is, Grandpa.
Huh?
You gotta tell us what day it is.
Well, it's Sunday.
And why is today special?
It's a big 90.
That's right. You're 90 years old today.
Big 90.
And you've got Sophie with
And
you.
I got Sophie. And Dalton's visiting. Yeah.
And there's Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sophie likes her great-grandpa. She just woke up from a nap on Grandpa's bed.
She's working out, yeah.
To me, I feel like this is an apartment.
It does. Is this, did you say that was Granite Dells?
Yeah, it's near there. Yeah.
And that's you and Grandma. And that's your friends next to it right here.
Yeah, Ray. That's Ray Lindley.
Ray Lindley. And that's you and Ray.
That's you and Ray. That's Mount.
That's Grandma.
There's Ray and somebody's holding somebody there. Me. Well,
And
there's
this-
two. There's two people there. I guess that's my.
That's you and Grandma.
Yeah, there we are.
And that's Grandma and...
This is Clara.
And that's your sister, Clara.
That's my sister's.
Okay, and
Clara.
Grandma.
My sister Clara, yeah. I think of these guys, all of these guys.
We
now.
think this is Bert, right? This one is you
Yeah, I know that's me.
and Bert.
Right.
And
Yeah, this one down in the corner is Walter.
that's Walter, and that's Grandma's brother.
Right.
And that's
And
Grandma.
there's Grandma's mother.
That's Grandma right there.
There's Grandma there, and then here she is with her mother and the kids. See?
Oh, Can't quite focus. Okay.
And this is
What are they doing?
Grandpa Lewis.
You see it?
Grandpa Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
See what they're doing?
Okay.
Bert and I.
What are they doing?
And these are at the same place that Granite Dells.
Yeah, in the vicinity, Granite Dells.
What about this one?
Yeah, this is up near the rim, the Mogollon Rim.
Mogollon Rim.
Mhm.
Okay. And this was
Hey, you know who that is?
at a
That-
This
picnic.
is just a friend. I don't know.
There's Gailey's
And
dad.
there's Grandma
There's
See that?
Grandma.
having a
Grandma
drink.
and I. No, Grandma and
You see them.
can't think. Oh, that's doors. I think. I'm not sure.
I think that's you and Grandma.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Who's that down there? Is that Queen Gage and Emily?
Okay.
This is Alan Burgett, Clifford Gibson, Albert Maloy, and Dickerson. I got my stepfather's name in there. So I went by the name of Dickerson till I was out of high school. Right?
That's right.
So,
That's right. And so this was after you were married,
yeah.
right? Right here. These.
Yeah, this was at Granite Dale. I don't know. I don't really know. But I know who this other girl was, but I can't put her name on her.
But that in the dark swimsuit is Grandma.
This is Grandma, definitely.
Uh huh.
And that's Grandma and I. That's Mary and I. Myself. This is it.
You can't focus.
On North McCormick Street where we lived.
North McCormick Street in Prescott.
In Prescott.
Okay.
Are you watching them
And that's where you lived after you got married? Married?
the dogs?
Oh.
That's the Ford. And did you buy that after you were married?
We do exercise.
No, we bought it for we. I guess we bought it for maybe it was when we was going there. That's her aunt. This is Mary's aunt here, and
Butel.
of course, yeah. And this is Mary on the car on the
That's
Ford.
Grandma.
Here we are eating watermelon.
Okay. And this was
This
out.
is Mary and I at, I guess you'd say in the Granite Dells area, near Prescott. We was out there picnicking.
And this is you in your National Guard uniform, right?
Yeah, right. This is at Fort Tuthill, Arizona.
Let's get your cowboy hat.
That was it where
Right,
when I was in the service. Right there.
Okay.
This is Carpenter, Jimmy Carpenter.
What's it called?
It's a 30 caliber machine gun.
So it's a 30 caliber machine gun.
30 caliber
And you're-
30 caliber water cooled machine gun.
And what was your division called?
I was company M 158th Infantry.
And you're sitting behind the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100.
Okay, so
This
this
is the one we had to get in, and hold the brake when we were going downhill. This was that old Ford, two-door Ford, an old two-door
Okay.
Ford.
And that's Grandma right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you went to the Grand Canyon in that trailer that your stepdad made.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd sit in the back going downhill. You'd sit
Yeah.
in the trailer and put on a brake.
Leo Dickerson made that. That's my stepfather. He made it right there in our backyard, and on Granite Street in Prescott.
Oh, okay.
That's Mary. And,
That's Grandma.
yeah.
And then that's a couple of your friends.
Yeah, I can't think of their names. I mean, one of them I think was Dick Allen. There's me and Ray Lindley.
There we go. And that's
Ray Lindley and his wife.
that's Ray.
This is Mary and Joanne Lewis, I believe.
Is that her cousin?
Yeah, Joanne Lewis. Mm-hmm. That's Mary. That's where
That's that what you're looking at? You're looking at the mountains? Lake.
I know that guy's name so well. We were all sergeant. We were all sergeant. Jimmy Carpenter and myself.
So it's Jimmy Compton,
Jimmy Carpenter.
Jimmy Carpenter, and then you and
And then
some other guy.
I can't think of his name. I know him. I knew him real well. That's Mary and I. Looks like we got somebody else there on her shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just her clothes.
Yeah.
Near our house where we lived.
And who is that?
It was Ray Lindley.
That's Ray Lindley.
Ray Lindley and his mother. So that's not important.
This is a photo of Grandpa's older sister, right?
Right.
On
The one
the-
on the right.
The one on the right is
I don't know who
Pauline.
the one on the left is.
Pauline Maloy McComas. And the one on the left is a daughter of Grace Maloy. Can't remember.
Grace Malone. They lived in
Hoff.
Hoff, I think.
It's a daughter of Grace Maloy Hoff. And so we're in 2005, and Pauline, what was she born in?
She's
1912
three years older than I was.
So she's born in 1912, somewhere around there.
Well, 'cause I was born in 15,
Okay.
July 10th, 1915.
So she looks like she's
16.
about 4. This picture must be
July 10th, 1915.
about 1916. So we'll have to find.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
I get the whole crowd.
That is great.
Wait, I can't.
And the reason there's no cake is that he requested apple pie.
All right, gotta get the whole crowd here.
Hey, go in there.
Gotta get me.
I think it's all right with Ted.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. Dandy.
So your request was apple pie, right?
Right.
Okay, and we couldn't fit 90 candles on it.
But we do have apple pie.
We have apple pie and homemade ice cream and peach pie. And we've already done away with the brats and the hot dogs.
And the kids have got s'mores. You got to go out and make s'mores with the kids.
I think we just leave them on the porch.
And across the street was another big shop, you know, and
So you mainly did auto work then.
yeah, mostly around automobiles. And of course, you know, in those days, you washed the windshield and you washed the rear view.
You serviced the whole
You
thing.
serviced the whole car out on the ground. This wasn't inside. This was, and then they had the lift over on to the back side, the other side of the depot auto parts.
And that was by the depot then.
Yeah, right there, just across the street from the depot.
What was your next job?
My next job was well, I got to think of my next job.
Was that in the laundry truck?
I worked for a fellow called by Joe Heap, and he owned the lawn, the Prescott
owned the
Sanitary.
laundry.
He owned the Prescott Sanitary Laundry, and he had this almost new Ford truck. You remember that? The one we went camping in, that Ford truck, and. So he said, well, he called me into the office one day there, and he said, well, I can make you a deal on that truck. It's almost new. And I think I paid $500 for it. And
Well, that was quite a bit of money.
yeah, it was quite a bit of money in those days. But the first car I had, new car, and one of the only cars, the one I bought, it was a 2-door Chevrolet. I bought it at Buco's Motor Company.
What color was it, Dad?
It was kind of a grayish, you know, on the gray side. And the reason I bought it was the two-door. The kids was always climbing around, getting up, to keep Bert and Bill from falling out of the thing.
Well, you know how they were. So that's why you bought a two-door.
Yeah, that's why I bought a two-door, and it was a brand new car, you know.
What
But
did
you
you-
could stand back 20 feet from that car and squirt water clear through it. I mean, they didn't build the cars tight. They just came out of manufacture, you know. And they were new, and they were two-door. Now we got to get a two-door, Dad. Al, we got to get a two-door. These kids will open those doors and fall out.
Yeah, I know.
And that was to hold the kids.
Well, on that truck that you bought, is that when you started your own laundry business?
On the what?
That truck that you bought from that guy, is that when you started?
Yeah,
your own
that's when I
laundry?
started my own business, because then I owned the truck and I had to buy the gas and the tires, and I paid X amount, you know. And then those days they had motels.
I remember you talking
Lots of
about
motels.
that. Now
And
tell
I
me
went
that.
to Ash Fork, Seligman, Flagstaff, and I gathered up linens.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
A lot.
I mean a lot of them.
There were hotels though, weren't they?
Huh?
There were hotels.
Yeah, actually, you know. And I'd have that truck so full of laundry and dry cleaning that there wasn't any room in the passenger seat. Clear, it was clear, completely loaded. I mean, it was stuffed in.
Oh.
Because all these motels and things, you know, and in those days, get a motel, you get clean sheets and everything, you know. And they had a lot of them.
Right. So where did you take them?
Where you took them to I bought them to Prescott. Joe Heap, a fellow by the name of Joe Heap, he owned the Prescott Sanitary Laundry. And thank you. And so then I started paying him X amount to, you know,
To wash it?
to wash and do all the dry cleaning. And I gathered up a lot of light dry cleaning because there was more money in it and it was faster. You know, you go to these hotels and things, and I did a lot of, you heard of them Harvey houses, Bert has, Dornan I'm sure has.
No, I've not heard of a Harvey.
They
Now, whoa, Dad, don't
they
be-
were hotels on the railroad.
Okay.
That's what they were.
I remember hearing about the Harvey girls, but I
And
didn't
the
know
Harvey
they were,
girls, you know, and they were, I mean, those Harvey girls were dressed spick and span.
Were they the waitresses
They were
that
starched
waited?
and ironed, I mean, and they were the waitresses, you know. And so it was an
So you would go pay that guy to,
Pardon?
you would go pay the guy to clean everything, and then you would take them back
Well,
to the
yeah, and
hotels?
we had a dry cleaning department too. Took in women's dresses and men's suits and all of that stuff. And they were out there around Seligman, Ash Fork, Flagstaff. I gathered up all those linen, you know, and I would have linen stacked in that car. There was hardly room for me to sit.
How many miles did you drive a day, Dad?
50 miles down, and 50 miles back. About 65. Clear to Seligman. I went clear to Seligman.
That truck hold up pretty good for you?
Oh yeah. But I kept good tires on it, you know, good tires on it, and had a couple of narrow escapes with it. Hit a bull or two,
Hit a bull.
cow or two, and just grazed them, you know, a little bit.
Did you go hunting a lot when you were doing that too? Or
Yeah,
when did you start
we
hunting?
went hunting quite a bit, but mostly Bert and I and Nick and Bill, we went fishing. I saw you. I bought a magazine down here to show her where we went fishing, up and down Oak Creek,
Yeah.
and they caught so many fish, you know, that they had to trade. And one day we had so many fish. Well, we traded what was it for a turkey. These were
a canned chicken. We were getting sick of fish.
and Bert and Bill would catch so many fish.
You could only
And they was doing where all the holes were,
You can
where
all-
the trout
You
were.
could only catch 10, so we go catch our 10, and we give them away to people.
Give them away to
So
people.
we go out and catch another 10.
another 10 fish, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And what about Christmas? Did you decorate a lot of trees and stuff for Christmas?
Well,
then?
we decorated. Well, we always had a decorated tree, and we went out and hunted for tree. Bert and I went out and hunted quite a few.
Tell Wendy the story about how Mary got so upset with you that one year.
About a Christmas tree?
Yeah. He
Well.
told me about him climbing a tree.
Well, the top part of the tree was the prettiest part of the tree, so we wouldn't cut it off.
How tall was it, Dad?
Fun.
How tall was it?
Well, the tree was the ceiling in the house was about as high as that banister.
Now, how tall was the tree that you had to cut the top out of?
It was about 6 foot.
No,
And
that's a tree, but how the one you climbed, how high was
Oh,
it?
it was pretty high.
It's probably well over
It was
70,
a nice
80
shape,
feet.
though. You know, it was rounded out. And,
And what did Mary tell you?
I don't remember I don't know.
You said something to me about Mary got mad at you.
Oh yeah, well that was after we lived in the Sun Lake area, not in Sun, in the Forest Lake area. Well, I climbed and top the top out of the tree because it's the prettiest part of the tree, and I had to tie a rope on it and let it down. I cut it off up there and then let it down.
So you
So
climbed
it was
up
nice
and
shape.
yeah.
Didn't she tell you if you fell, she was going to kill you?
Yeah, she did.
That's what I thought she said. She got mad at him and she says, "If you fall out of that tree, Al, I'm going to kill you." I thought that was funny, as if the fall wouldn't do it.
She didn't want to lose you over a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
she
Huh?
did. Oh, yeah, she was. She meant it too.
So that's why he didn't fall.
But we always went there in the summers. We always Oak Creek went up. But we went. That's where he learned to fish. That's where he learned to hike. That's where he learned all these outdoors.
Do everything.
Well, you taught him well, Dad.
Yeah, they did well. They did well.
So you were telling me that you would take that laundry truck to the mountains and go camping,
Oh yeah.
and then you would leave
Leave
the-
them married there.
and the boys.
And the boys. And
Uh-huh.
then they would fish. They fished every hole in Oak Creek for 5 miles.
And
But,
so they would eat fish while you were gone.
Well, they trade them off. And if they got a little tired
Trade them
of
off
fish.
for groceries.
A little tired of fish. But they knew where they were. Bert and Bill knew where the fish were. You know what holes they were in. But I've hiked that Oak Creek clear to the bottom, where it went into a great big ranch down there, and I'd see deer and elk all along the way, and it was so beautiful. But I'd take my fishing while I walked down there. I remember the last time I walked Oak Creek, I didn't even go fishing, but I see all these holes and these falls, you know, where the fish was trying to get up the holes to spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Fish is like salmon; they always go up and then they die.
Mm.
At
What a
the
life!
top.
Yeah.
Work hard to get up the creek.
Yeah.
They do. The salmon does that. You know, they go up the top, and that's the end of their life.
So how far did you walk the last time you were there?
Oh, I walked down there. It was only about 3 or 4 miles. Walking down.
Did it look the same?
Well, yeah, it did, except for people.
It's crazy people.
People, full of people.
Yeah.
And they hear about these nice places, and particularly the place where we camped, just like I was telling you, I went down and left Mary there over the weekend, by herself, the kids.
And you were
I
telling
went on
me,
to work.
you would just nail the apple
They'll
crate.
nail an apple box on the side of the tree, so Mary'd have a place to set our grub and stuff in, and get it up well from the floor.
Away from the
ground.
animals.
And we just took enough stuff. It just
Took an ice chest when we
ice chest.
before we ran out of
Yeah.
ice. Bill and I would hitchhike clear down to Sedona.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that today? You know.
Sedona was a little
He was
country.
just like that,
country
and I
store.
was about like that. We get on the highway and hitchhike.
Down the highway.
Yeah.
Clear up to those holes.
Yeah, and nobody ever thought anything about
No.
it. You know, everybody that ever stopped to help us was really
I
kind.
remember, I guess both of you walked up that, what was that creek that came into Oak Creek there? You went way up there, and I never did hike to the end of that.
No,
If you would
that-
build it, though.
I went up at one time. Then they were going to go up at the West Fork of Oak Creek.
The West Fork, yeah.
We got all ready to go. The scout troop was going to go up there
Right.
over the 4-day Easter holiday.
Easter holiday.
And then those days we could go over Sunday, but we just had to have a Sunday service. You know?
Yeah.
So we went. And the West Fork was the unexplored part of Oak
Well, it
Creek
was
Canyon.
actually was unexplored.
And you couldn't, the walls got so close that you had to wade through the water to go up there. And we'd been planning this for a year. And we were supposed to have, we had this old school bus, we were supposed to have all of our equipment down there the night before. We were having one last meeting with the parents and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to that meeting, took my pack down there, and boy, I was sick. And I was sick.
You was sick.
So, and we were supposed to leave like 5 o'clock in the morning, really early. And I got up about 1 o'clock in the morning and looked in the mirror, and I had the measles all over me. Just
Good
like,
time to take the measles when we got ready to go somewhere.
Yeah.
had the measles. So my mom had planned on that weekend, since I was going to be gone. She and Bill were going to go on the train to El Paso
Right.
to do something with that lady she knew down there. So I was home with Dad. And he was going to take me down to church, and he said, you cannot go. So I guess he went down to church and got my stuff, and he felt really bad about it, but I had the 3-day measles. I came down with him on Thursday
You
night.
had the fever, and I mean, you was sick.
And I was sick. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
4 days.
I was over them.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday is when they were going to come back out of the canyon. I was feeling great.
Yeah.
So Dad said, well, so you won't feel so bad. I'll take you over to Oak Creek and you can meet them when they come out of that canyon. So he took me all over Mingus Mountain. We had to go through that Jerome area
Yeah,
and
clear around Jerome,
Cottonwood and Clarkdale.
Cottonwood.
It was a major trip in those days.
And this is when you lived in
Prescott.
Prescott? You
Prescott.
still lived in Prescott?
Yeah.
I lived in Prescott.
And so we got over there, and we got there before they came down. So we parked in the parking lot, or we parked where there was a parking. Wasn't really a parking lot, just where you pulled off the road. And we walked about. It must have been about 20. Well, it must have been 300 or 400 feet over to where the canyon opened out. So
Mm-hmm.
we walked over there and kind of waited for them, and here we saw them coming down with all their backpacks. And they were the sorriest group of people you ever saw in your life. 3 of them had come down with the measles up in that canyon. I came down with them before, and I didn't, but they were feeling good until they got up there. And they'd come down with the measles. They had to hike out of there with the measles.
With the museum.
And boy, you talk about some sick kids, and everybody else was tired because they had to carry all their packs and everything because they were too weak to carry their packs. Oh man! And all of a sudden, I didn't feel so sorry for myself.
Oh.
Where did you live?
Lived out, well, you walk out the railroad track, and then you walk just about a mile up the road leaving Prescott, going over to Thumb Butte.
Which direction?
And Iron Springs. It was going to Iron Springs, you know, the
We're
road
in
up to
west.
Iron Springs.
So going west of Prescott.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is right after you got married.
Mm-hmm. And so anyway, it was a beautiful cut, and I'll never forget. We went up there. I think we went up there and got a Christmas tree, and got it back some way. But we got this old car started up this mountain.
That's when you're going up to that guy that lives way out there by himself. What was his name?
Oh yeah, I can't think of his name.
We were going up to his place
Yeah, we were going up to his place. He had a little ranch up there, a little ranch house up there.
on a little narrow road that went up the side of a mountain.
It was kind of a trail instead of a road, but it had a lane in it.
The brakes went out.
And the brakes went out. And I couldn't hold it.
And did you
I
have...
had to just get in there. It had the handbrake, you know. And that's about it. But anyway, it would come down that hill backwards.
Yeah, Mom screaming all the way.
Yeah, she was a little upset.
Were you there?
I was there.
She was a little upset.
I was in the back of the car.
So tell me about when you got married. You went down to get your license and they told you to have your mom come down. And did you just get married right then, or did you have a party, or?
No, we just got married then. We went, I guess it was in the I guess it was in the courthouse.
In Prescott.
Right, and yeah, and then that was fun. I can't think of her name. I told you it a while ago, but she said, "Well, Albert, you're gonna have to go get your mother."
Because you were 17.
Yeah, well, because I
And
was
so-
17. I wasn't of age yet. See,
Right.
and Mary was.
So did Mom's folks come to the wedding?
No, I don't think so.
So you just went. So you just
Maybe
did
my
it right.
grandfather did. My grandfather at that time lived in the pioneer's home.
Oh, what was his name?
Ship.
Okay.
That was my name.
So it was your mother's
Yeah,
father.
yeah, mother.
And
Well, Mary's father.
so did your mom? So your mom came down, and your grandfather came down,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and just got married in the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you go after that?
We went up to Ashford and had dinner.
Oh, did you?
He loaned me his big Buick.
Your
Doc Thiel loaned me his big Buick. That's a big Buick.
Who loaned it to you?
Yeah.
Who
And
was it?
He was the one I worked for in the depot
Oh.
service station.
Doc Seal.
Doc Thiel.
At the service station.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so we went up and had dinner at the Harvey house. It was a nice dinner. We thought that was a big thing, you know. It was
Big
50
treat.
miles.
And you already had a house to live in.
Well, we had a rented house.
Uh-huh. So you
Well,
had.
no, that was the first house I bought.
Did you live with Nana and Daddy Lou?
No, Nana and Daddy more or less lived with us. So actually in Chino Valley, you know, up there.
So you had
They
rented.
had a 5-acre place right on the highway. You remember that?
Yeah.
You know.
So you had rented.
Well, everywhere
house.
we went, we rented.
Right. So
we
when
never,
you had rented
at that
a
time,
house.
we never did own a home. We rented, you know.
And so when you got married, you had a home
Yeah,
that you rented.
yeah.
And you stayed there, and was that where Dad was born?
Pardon?
Was that where you lived when Dad was born?
Yeah, I think Dad was born on Mount Vernon Street. That kind of a care home,
Yeah, that was a maternity home.
maternity home.
We had a maternity home. You didn't go to the hospital. You went to a maternity home.
Oh, right.
Where
But
they had midwives.
so you came in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Bill was born in a real hospital.
Yeah, Bill was born then. Yeah.
Well, so how long did you stay in that first house?
Well, that was when you went to Miller Valley School.
No, I went to Miller Valley School when you were living on Walnut Street.
Yeah, I lived on Walnut Street. Yeah, I remember I worked at the depot service station. I walked home every evening, and then just walk out the railroad, and we just lived half a mile off the railroad. That's where you went up to Iron Springs. The road went up to Iron Springs, you know. And
So where did you live when Bill was born?
oh, in Billboard.
Were you still in Prescott?
I think we still,
Oh, yeah.
and we always still in Prescott. Yeah.
Because Bill was only,
He was at Bill was
he was 5 years,
5 years
younger
old.
than me.
Yeah.
We didn't move till Phoenix until I was 15.
I remember. I never forget there at Oak Creek. I said Bill. I guess it was Bill out in the middle of the Oak Creek there on a rock. And
That was me.
that was you. You gave him a fishing pole.
How old was he? Oh, that's funny.
I fished him, but I always wanted to go fishing, so we just put him out in that rock there in the Oak Creek, and he fished there with a line on it, a little long line, and a safety pin.
Does the safety pin work?
No, it didn't work. But he
But
fished.
I didn't know any better.
How old were you?
Well,
He was only about 5.
I wasn't that old. I don't think I was about 3.
Wasn't very old.
Huh.
But I bought a magazine down there to show you, and it shows that Arizona, pretty much covers Arizona, and beautiful spots in it that we went to, and just like that big Navajo up there, I went and watched the Indian gal working on that.
Oh, did you? You saw her make
They
it?
wove it, yeah. They were weaving it. I got one up there that she did weave. And they got it out at this Indian trading. They weren't Indian trading post. They were trading posts where they
Regular training hall.
regular trading posts where all the farmers and the ranchers came in, and that was the only place for them to go.
So they would go to the trading post and actually
Yeah,
weave
and
it.
this Indian lady is sitting right there with her weaver,
Mm-hmm.
weaving the wool out of the sheep into this rug.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite an experience. But you can just imagine the work that Indian lady did
Oh,
to
yeah.
make one of those rugs.
I know. So how much did it cost?
Well, in those days it didn't cost so very much, but you could buy a fairly decent Navajo rug for $35.
Boy, price has gone up, huh?
35. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like those rugs I got on the floor up there. Those are regular Indian rugs that were made in those stores, in those trading posts.
Right, right. Yeah.
Out of sheep's wool, and to this day I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they got the sheep's wool.
Well, they started it by just rolling the wool with their hands, and then they would hook it up to a wheel and
Yeah.
roll it.
And then in
Roll
tap
it
it
up.
there, it was on a great big frame,
Yeah,
and they tapped the bill down.
yeah, but
Right,
they could
right.
tell just how thick it was
Yeah,
by
and they
their
had a-
hands, and then they roll it on this spindle, and then take some more, and it's
Yeah.
all tied together with fibers.
And they never ever made a Indian rug that there wasn't a line out of it.
Mm-hmm. A mistake.
No, not a mistake. There had to be a line out of the rug.
That's how the spirit
Out of the
escaped from
spirit.
rug.
Oh, a line
So the
of
spirit could
color
get out
that
of the
comes
rug,
out.
you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
And there's always just a little white line
Uh-huh.
right from the
That's
center of the
actually how
rug.
you could tell where the original Navajo
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
They
so
believe-
she would
They believe
just,
the rugs had a spirit.
so she would just make it right there and sell them.
Right there, you know, yeah.
Now they made a lot of them in their hogans there.
Yeah, yeah, they actually wove them in their hogans. You know.
And they come in to trade them.
These hogans were built out of a certain kind of clay that they got out of the creek beds, you know, and that was the only kind they ever used. It's just a certain kind of clay. I don't know what they call it or anything, but that's where they sit and wove those Indian ladies that sit there and weave that rug, you know.
So
It always had a design on it, beautiful design, with this, like these rugs they got on the floor up there, and some of them got stacked up there.
yeah, those are nice. So you were telling me the other day that you and Grandma always danced.
Oh yeah.
So
we
when you were, before you got married and you were still in school, did they have dances?
Oh yeah. Well, we had church dances. Every 2 weeks, they had a dance at the church.
Now was that Grandma's church?
Yeah.
Or
In Prescott.
was it the Mormon church?
Well, yeah, it was a Mormon church right there
Okay.
in Prescott.
Okay. So you would go
Just
to
a little
the.
thing. It wasn't any bigger than these 2-3 rooms there, and yeah, we danced a lot.
Seemed like a big church to me.
Yeah, it seemed like pretty big to her.
So did you run around with the Mormon kids?
Well, we had a group of people, about 4 couples that we ran around together with. On what places we hadn't traveled with, and just a group, you know, like you do. You have a certain group of kids you travel with. Of course, we didn't go far, you know. I guess the farthest we went was just like out to the swimming hole,
The gals.
out to the dells. That was where I almost drowned myself. Nobody really knew it, but I almost drowned.
What? How did
I
that
was,
happen?
Well, the lake, the swimming pool, Granite Dells, and that had a little island out on it, you know. Only about 40 feet from the bank. There's an island out there, and we had to pass our Boy Scout swimming dress. So I had to swim clear over to the other side and back. I swear, and finally I got I couldn't really swim, and then I got down to where it was just a dog paddle. And I got down, and I knew I was going to drown.
This is on the way out to
On
the
the way
island?
back.
On the way
I
back.
got across to it, then I come back, and I just wore myself out. I was so tired. I didn't know how to swim. I worked my arms and my legs.
Right.
I knew you had to do that to move. But I came so near drowning on that trip. I thought, well, this is it.
But you made it.
Oh, I made it, but at that time, you know, I was in the Boy Scouts.
Well, I saw your Boy Scout uniform.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Grandma showed it to me one time.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looked nice.
Hat and all, wasn't it?
And didn't you have knickers?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Oh, the arm. You wrapped them.
Oh, maybe that's
Leg
what-
wraps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, leg wrap.
Yeah.
Funny thing.
Yeah.
Those 2 Highway magazines, I brought them down. I don't know where I laid them around here somewhere, but they've got Arizona in it. I was just telling Joanne, I said, you know, like Don and his girl went down to Texas, you know, they ought to go to Arizona if they want to really see some beautiful country,
Right.
not Texas.